March 1984, Kensington Palace. Princess Diana was 3 months pregnant with her second child. She sat in her private sitting room with a close friend. The friend noticed Diana looked troubled. "What's wrong?" Diana hesitated, then said something shocking. "What if this baby looks like James?" The friend was confused. "James who?" Diana's face went pale. "Hewitt. James Hewitt. What if everyone can tell?" The friend laughed nervously. "Diana, you haven't even met James Hewitt yet. You're being paranoid." But was she? Because when Harry was born in September 1984, the whispers started immediately. The red hair, the different features, the resemblance to someone who wasn't Charles. For nearly 40 years, one question has haunted the royal family. Is Prince Harry actually Charles's son? Or was there a secret that Diana took to her grave? To understand the Harry paternity conspiracy, you need to understand the timeline. Official records say Diana met James Hewitt in 1986, 2 years after Harry was born. Case closed. Except multiple sources tell a different story. Diana's friends claim she met Hewitt earlier, much earlier, perhaps as early as 1983, at a polo match, at a party, at Highgrove. The meeting happened. They were introduced. They talked. And according to these sources, they connected immediately. Long before anyone admits. Long before the official timeline. Long before it would be convenient for the royal family. James Hewitt has always denied being Harry's father. "I met Diana in 1986. Harry was born in 1984. I'm not his father. The timeline doesn't work." But Hewitt has also been caught lying multiple times. About the relationship, about when it started, about what happened, Hewitt sold his story, sold Diana's letters, sold everything he could. So why would we believe him about this? Why would we trust the timeline he provides, when everything else he's said has been proven unreliable, self-serving, designed to protect himself, or profit from Diana's memory? The physical resemblance is undeniable. Harry has red hair, Charles has brown hair, Diana had blonde hair. Where does the red hair come from? The Spencer family, defenders say. Diana's brother has red hair, Diana's sisters have red tones. It's genetic, perfectly explainable. But then there are the photos. Harry next to James Hewitt. The resemblance is stunning. The same facial structure, the same smile, the same eyes, the same everything. Meanwhile, photos of Harry next to Charles show almost no resemblance. Different bone structure, different features, different everything. People see what they want to see, but the visual evidence is troubling, compelling, hard to explain away. Prince Philip reportedly had doubts. According to palace insiders, Philip demanded a DNA test in the 1990s. Wanted proof that Harry was Charles's son. Wanted certainty before Harry was educated as a royal. Before resources were invested in his upbringing, Charles refused. "I won't humiliate Diana. Won't question my son's parentage publicly. Harry is my son." End of discussion. But was Charles protecting Diana? Or protecting himself? Because if Harry wasn't his biological son, the implications were catastrophic. The scandal would destroy the monarchy, would delegitimize Harry, would expose Diana's infidelity, would prove Charles had been cuckolded. Better to never know, better to never test, better to maintain the fiction. Even if the truth was obvious to anyone with eyes, Diana herself fueled the speculation. In moments of anger during the marriage breakdown, Diana would throw accusations at Charles. "At least my children love me. At least they're mine." What did she mean by that? Was she suggesting Harry wasn't Charles's? Was she using paternity as a weapon? Diana was capable of cruelty when hurt, capable of saying things designed to wound. But did she go that far? Did she actually tell Charles that Harry wasn't his biological son? Some palace sources claim yes. That, during a particularly vicious fight in 1992, Diana shouted, "Harry is mine, not yours, and you know it." Charles allegedly went pale, left the room, never discussed it again, never demanded proof, never questioned, just knew. The affair timeline is suspicious. Official story: Diana met Hewitt in 1986. They became friends. The friendship became romantic. By 1989, they were lovers. But palace staff tell different stories. They remember Hewitt at Kensington Palace earlier, 1984, 1985, visiting Diana, spending time alone with her, long before the official affair began. Why would Hewitt be visiting Diana so early? Why would they be spending private time together? If they were just friends, why the secrecy? Why the private visits? Why the locked doors? Unless something was happening, something Diana needed to hide, something that started much earlier than anyone admits. Harry himself has addressed the rumours multiple times, always denying them. My father is Charles. James Hewitt is not my father. The timeline doesn't work. The DNA would prove it if anyone bothered to test. But Harry has never taken a DNA test, never provided proof, never offered evidence beyond his word. Why not? If Harry wanted to end the speculation permanently, he could. One DNA test, public results, end of story. But Harry refuses, says it's beneath him, says the question is insulting, says he won't dignify the conspiracy with a response. But refusal to test also perpetuates doubt, makes people wonder. If Harry is so certain, why not prove it? What is he afraid of? What is the royal family afraid of? The conspiracy theorists have elaborate explanations. They claim Diana knew she couldn't get pregnant by Charles anymore, that after William, Charles lost interest in marital relations, that the marriage was effectively over, that Diana needed a second child to secure her position. So she found someone else, someone available, someone willing, someone who could give her what Charles wouldn't: a second son, an insurance policy, a spare to William's heir. The theorists claim Diana planned it, carefully, deliberately, got pregnant by Hewitt, told Charles the baby was his. Charles, desperate to avoid scandal, accepted the child as his own, even though he knew, even though the resemblance was obvious, even though Harry looked nothing like him, because admitting the truth would destroy everything. But here's the counter-argument. Diana was obsessively careful about contraception after William. She didn't want another child immediately. The marriage was already struggling. Another baby would trap her further. So how could an affair pregnancy happen accidentally? Diana was too smart, too careful, too controlled. If Harry was Hewitt's child, it would have to be intentional, planned. And while Diana was capable of many things, deliberately conceiving a child with her lover and passing it off as royal, that seems too calculating, too cold, too unlike Diana. Unless Diana was more calculating than anyone knew, unless the Vulnerable Princess Act was exactly that, an act. And underneath was someone capable of anything, including the ultimate deception, passing off another man's child as the heir to the throne. The Spencer family resemblance is the official defense. Look at Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. Red hair, similar features to Harry. Look at Diana's sisters, the genetic traits. Harry looks like the Spencers, not like Charles. But genetics are complicated. Harry could have Spencer genes and still be Charles's son. The red hair proves nothing. The facial features prove nothing. Without DNA testing, it's all speculation. But the Spencer family has never offered DNA either. Never volunteered to prove the genetic connection. Never provided evidence beyond saying he looks like us, which could be true, or could be cover, for a secret too dangerous to expose. Charles has always treated Harry as his son, loved him, supported him, paid for him, included him in everything. If Charles had doubts about Harry's paternity, would he do this? Would he invest emotionally in a child who might not be his? Or would Charles, desperate to avoid scandal, desperate to maintain appearances, desperate to protect the monarchy, treat Harry as his son regardless? Because admitting doubt means admitting Diana's infidelity, means admitting Charles was betrayed, means admitting weakness, means destroying the royal family's image. Better to treat Harry as a son, better to love him, better to never question, even if the truth is obvious, even if everyone can see it, even if Harry is the living embodiment of Diana's ultimate revenge. William and Harry's relationship adds another layer. They're very close, but they're also very different. Different looks, different personalities, different everything. William is all Windsor, looks like Charles, acts like Charles, fits the royal mold perfectly. Harry is different, looks different, acts different, rebels against the royal system, almost like he knows he doesn't belong, like he senses he's different, like somewhere, deep down, Harry suspects the truth, that he's not really one of them, not really royal, not really Charles's son. And that knowledge, conscious or unconscious, drives Harry's behaviour, his rebellion, his departure, his rejection of royal life. Because if he's not really royal, why pretend? Why suffer? Why stay? The palace has never officially addressed the conspiracy, never confirmed or denied, never provided evidence, never offered DNA tests, just silence. The same silence they use for everything uncomfortable, everything threatening, everything that might damage the monarchy. The silence suggests they have something to hide, or it suggests the question is so absurd it doesn't deserve response. Depending on your perspective, depending on what you want to believe, depending on whether you trust the royal family, or whether you think they're capable of anything, including covering up the biggest paternity scandal in history. DNA technology makes the truth discoverable. A hair, a glass, a discarded tissue. That's all it would take. To test Harry's DNA against Charles, against James Hewitt, against the Spencer family. To know for certain, once and for all. But the royal family controls access to Harry's DNA, controls what gets tested, controls what gets revealed. If the truth was favourable, wouldn't they test? Wouldn't they prove Harry is Charles's son? Wouldn't they end the conspiracy forever? Unless the truth isn't favourable. Unless testing would reveal something devastating. Something that would shake the monarchy to its core. Something the royal family will protect at all costs, by never testing, never knowing, never confirming what everyone suspects, what everyone whispers, what everyone sees when they look at Harry and see James Hewitt, staring back. James Hewitt is 67 now, living in obscurity, occasionally selling stories, occasionally making statements, always denying he's Harry's father, but also never quite closing the door, never quite being definitive, always leaving room for doubt, for speculation, for conspiracy. Because the Harry paternity story keeps Hewitt relevant, keeps him in the news, keeps him valuable. If Hewitt definitively proved he wasn't Harry's father, he'd lose that. Lose his last connection to Diana, lose his last claim to importance. So Hewitt keeps the mystery alive, drops hints, makes ambiguous statements, lets people wonder. Because wonder is profitable, mystery is valuable, truth is boring. And Hewitt needs the mystery, needs the question, needs people to keep asking. Is James Hewitt Prince Harry's real father? The answer, from Hewitt's perspective, is best left unanswered. Ambiguous, profitable, forever. Prince Harry's move to America takes on new meaning through this lens. If Harry suspects he's not Charles's biological son, California makes sense. Distance from the royal family, distance from the life he doesn't really belong to, distance from the truth he can't face. Harry claims he left to protect Meghan, to escape racism, to save his mental health. All true. But maybe there's another reason. Maybe Harry left because he knows, or suspects, or can't bear not knowing, whether he's really a prince, really royal, really Charles's son. The DNA test Harry refuses to take, the questions Harry won't answer, the conspiracy Harry can't escape. Maybe Harry left because the truth, whatever it is, was suffocating him. And distance was the only answer. America was the only escape. From the family he doesn't resemble, from the father who might not be his father, from the life that might have been built on a lie. Diana's lie, Charles's acceptance, the royal family's biggest secret. That Prince Harry, the spare, the rebel, the one who left, might not be a prince at all, might be the son of a cavalry officer who had an affair with a princess, who got her pregnant, who gave her the second son she needed, and then walked away, letting Charles raise his child, letting the royal family live with the secret, letting Harry grow up never knowing who he really is, where he really came from, whose son he really is, the truth, the DNA, the answer, all hidden, all protected, all forbidden, forever. From James Hewitt's unpublished memoir fragment, leaked in 2015, people ask me constantly, "Are you Harry's father?" And I tell them no. The timeline doesn't work. Diana and I met after Harry was born, but here's what I don't tell them. Diana talked about Harry differently, with a sort of private smile, like she knew something, like there was a secret. And once, just once, after too much wine, she said something strange. "Harry is special. He's mine in a way William never can be." What did she mean? I didn't ask, didn't want to know, didn't want the responsibility. If Harry is my son, I don't want to know, can't know, won't know, because knowing would destroy him, would destroy me, would destroy everything. So I deny it, will always deny it, even if it's true, especially if it's true. Some secrets are too dangerous, some truths too devastating, some questions better left unanswered. Is Harry my son? I don't know, don't want to know, will never know. And I'll take that uncertainty to my grave. Let others speculate, let others wonder, let others gossip. I'll just keep denying, keep saying no, keep maintaining the lie, if it is a lie, or keeping the truth, if it is the truth. Because either way, the answer doesn't matter. Harry has a father, Charles. Whatever the DNA says, whatever the resemblance suggests, whatever Diana knew or didn't know, Harry has a father, and it's not me, can't be me, won't ever be me, even if it is, especially because it might be. The perfect conspiracy is the one nobody can prove, nobody can disprove, nobody can resolve, and Harry's paternity is perfect, forever, even if it is, especially because it might be. The perfect conspiracy is the one nobody can prove, nobody can disprove, nobody can resolve, and Harry's paternity is perfect, forever.